The Orphan Destiny. Many years ago, in the serene village of Nkanu, there lived a girl named Adis. Adis lost her mother, Ifunanya, at a very tender age due to childbirth complications. Her father, Chibuzo, remarried when Adis was 4 years old. His new wife, Ngozi, was initially a loving and caring stepmother until she had her own child, Nneka. Adis was ecstatic to have a younger sister and wanted to be the best big sister ever. However, Ngozi forbade Adis from getting close to Nneka and constantly reminded her of her mother's death. Adis often cried and reported Ngozi's actions to her father, who, sadly, had little power to intervene as Ngozi had taken control over the household. As the years passed, both girls grew into beautiful young women, but Ngozi's hatred for Adis only intensified. Ngozi ensured that Adis did all the household chores, including fetching firewood from the forest and water from the stream, all while giving her little food. In contrast, Nneka stayed at home, enjoying all the comforts and luxuries available. Chibuzo, deeply troubled by his daughter's plight, developed high blood pressure and eventually succumbed to his worries, leaving Adis an orphan in a cold, uncaring world. Ngozi and Nneka continued to treat her cruelly. In the kingdom of Umudioka, Prince Ikin had been away from the village since he was 6 years old, pursuing his education abroad. It was time for him to return home and choose a wife, as was the custom of Umudioka. The king's trusted secretary, Obina, was tasked with selecting 6 beautiful maidens to be presented to the prince upon his return in 2 months. Among the selected maidens were Nneka, Adis, and 4 other beautiful village girls. They all began preparing themselves, hoping the prince might choose one of them to be the future queen of Umudioka. Some even went as far as making sacrifices to their gods for favor. Ngozi decided to pamper Nneka, buying various skincare products and ensuring she followed a strict beauty regimen. Nneka's skin became as radiant as glass, while Adis was given more chores and allowed to bathe only once every 2 days, making her appear sickly and unpresentable. One of the villagers, Chinelo, noticed the maltreatment and confronted Ngozi and Nneka. "What you are doing to Adis is wrong and unacceptable. The world is unpredictable, and her future might be brighter than you can imagine. Stop this maltreatment before it's too late." "God forbid," Ngozi retorted. "My daughter's future is secured, and Adis will be nowhere near her." Chinelo replied, "May the earth, trees, and everything around us bear witness that I have warned you." On the day the selected girls were to move into the palace, Adis was overjoyed at the prospect of freedom, access to good food, and daily baths for 2 months. She prayed, tears streaming down her face, asking God to protect pregnant women from dying in childbirth and to bless their children with loving parents. She then added, "Let your will be done in my life as I move into the palace tomorrow." When the day arrived, Nneka packed all her beautiful clothes and jewelry, while Adis had nothing but the clothes she wore. She was determined to leave immediately, but Ngozi ordered her back inside. For the first time, Adis questioned her stepmother, who responded with a slap. "So, you want to move into the palace and tell them you work from morning till night without food and wear only one dress? Make it look like I don't care for you?" Ngozi sneered. "Remember, your mother is in the grave. If you have anything to say, tell her." Ngozi then turned to Nneka and said, "If they ask about Adis in the palace, tell them she said the king, the priest, the elders, and the people of Umudioka should all go to hell." "Mother, please," Adis pleaded. "I am not your mother. Your lazy and weak mother is in the grave," Ngozi interrupted. Nneka taunted Adis, saying, "Poor girl, try to have a mother in your next life." She then carried her bags and left for the palace. Adis' hope of leaving the house was shattered. She felt like ending her life but couldn't find a way. Just then, Chinelo appeared and asked what was wrong. Ngozi lied, saying nothing was wrong, but Adis bravely told Chinelo everything. Chinelo confronted Ngozi, "Woman, where is your conscience? You should be a pillar of support, a guide, and a mother to this young girl, but you've become her nightmare. How do you sleep at night? Adis, broken, asks Chinelo, please, Ma, how can I die now? I can't continue living in this miserable world. Don't say that again, Chinelo replied. You are a child of destiny, and no matter what, you will fulfill your destiny. Turning to Ngozi, Chinelo warned, if you don't let her go this moment, I will report you to the king, and both you and your daughter will be punished. Ngozi, having no other choice, allowed Adis to join the other maidens at the palace. Chinelo took Adis to her house, ensured she had a thorough bath, and gave her some of her daughter's clothes. Adis was grateful and made her way to the palace. Upon reaching the palace, Adis found the gates shut. She knocked, and the gatekeeper, after hearing her plea, went to discuss with the king. The king, informed that the girls were not complete, allowed her in. Adis was relieved to be free from her stepmother's troubles. The king ordered the girls to share rooms, and Adis was paired with Chism. Adis was happy to find a home outside the cruel environment she had grown up in. During their stay, the girls were to introduce themselves to the palace maids. Nneka, Chism, and others went first, followed by Adis. The king, secretly monitoring their behavior through hidden cameras, noticed Adis' excellent performance. Adis was used to hard work and often helped in the kitchen, feeling more comfortable among the maids. She even hoped to be employed as a maid after the 2 months were over. Nneka, envious of Adis, plotted to get her evicted from the palace. However, Adis avoided trouble and followed all instructions. Meanwhile, Nneka, indulging in immoral acts with a palace guard, became pregnant and was evicted. Her mother, Ngozi, sneaked in a charm for Nneka to use on the prince, which made him lose his senses. Nneka, believing the charm had worked, started acting as the queen and mistreating others, but Adis remained unaffected. Adis grew close to the chief palace guard, Chaik, and shared her life story with him. Seeing the chaos among the other maidens, Adis expressed her desire to quit and become a palace maid. Chaik, impressed by her character, discouraged her from quitting, suggesting they could marry and build a future together. Adis agreed, and they began planning their future. Adis approached the king, requesting to leave the competition and be employed as a maid. The king, aware of the situation through the cameras, refused her request. He then called a meeting, evicting Nneka and another maiden for their immoral behavior. This left Adis and Chism as the remaining candidates. Ngozi sneaked into the palace again, unaware of the cameras, and discussed the charm with Nneka. The prince, under the charm's influence, announced Nneka as his choice. However, the king and the prince, having tasted Adis' cooking and seen her genuine character, knew she was the rightful queen. The prince, in reality, was the chief palace guard, Ikin, in disguise. The king had orchestrated this plan to find a suitable queen. On the final day, with the villagers gathered, the king revealed the true identity of the prince. Ikin, the supposed chief palace guard, was presented as the prince of Umudioka. The villagers were shocked, and Ngozi and Nneka were speechless. The prince declared Adis as the future queen, leaving her in disbelief. Adis, overwhelmed with emotions, was crowned and adorned in a royal dress. Ngozi and Nneka fled in shame. Months later, Nneka discovered she was pregnant with the fake prince's child, only to realize he was hired and paid off by the king. She became a single mother, while Adis embraced her destiny as the queen of Umudioka. As queen, Adis initiated numerous reforms in Umudioka. She established support systems for orphans and widows, ensuring no child would face the hardships she endured. Her kindness and wisdom earned her the love and respect of her people. Ikin, now her husband and the true prince, supported her in every endeavor. I hope you enjoyed the tale. If so, please like the video, comment, share it with your family and friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for more enchanting tales like this one. Goodbye.